Hi, welcome back to the studio. So, first off, I want to put the phone on charge. First off, hello, how are you? So, I am back at emilydrums.com, in emilydrums.com. I'm not sure how to refer to this building since it's partly my name. But yeah, so back in the studio, and it is Tuesday, the 8th of September, and already we had Nathan in. Hello, Nathan. How are you? I feel like I've been away for years. It's the weirdest feeling. Also, when to sort of settle this up, for some reason, all my OBS is just out of whack. I don't know why. And then I actually looked at myself and went, Emily, you look like you need a rest. So yeah, I'm not looking the freshest today. Desperately trying to look half decent, not working, but it's you guys, so it's fine. I really don't mind. Nathan, how are you? What are you up to? Have you been to Screwfix lately? That's what I want to know. So, I've got a face full of sandwich. That is the best way to be. What is in your sandwich? That's all I actually want to know, obviously. Good to see you again. Yeah, it's good to see you too. It's good to be back doing this thing. I need to check that all my stuff is closed. It should be closed. Yeah, it is. So, Emily Young is here. Hello, Emily. How are you? So, I need to tell you just quickly. Funny thing, right? Dan Lee. Hello, you as well. How are you? You know how whenever I stream, for some reason, even though this computer has 32 gig of RAM, which I think is sufficient and should be sufficient to stream and record, but as you all know, as soon as I hit stream or record whatever, or open up a Logic session, my computer starts whirring. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to look up how much it would be to have a computer with, I think it was like 128 gig of RAM, and I was like, I'm just going to, or maybe it was even more than that, maybe it's 256. I was like, I'm just going to max it out because that way computer won't feel like it's about to fall over. I'm going to feel more secure about things. So I priced it up. Sorry, I just spat. On Apple, right? Same computer I've got, it's an iMac. With this spec. I didn't max out the graphics card, so I don't need to do that. You know, I'm not doing high-end editing in that way. 12.5 grand. And I was like, oh, okay, I can deal with a little bit of whirring for a bit. So yeah, you're gonna have to deal with the whirring because I am not spending 12 grand on a computer. It's just unreal like that. It's unbelievable. So David's here. Hello, David. How are you, David Lemitz? I need to reply to your email. I'm sorry. I know that literally every time I do a live stream, I seem to be apologising for not replying to somebody's email. It seems to be a running theme. So apologies about that. Nathan says, no, been having a Screwfix holiday. Well, that sounds good to me because it seems like, I mean, if they sold memberships, you would be number one member. So I'm just going to put my phone/watch on Do Not Disturb, even though that was actually you, David, liking my tag that I tagged a bunch of you because I was just like, right, first time back for a couple of weeks. I thought you guys probably won't want to like miss. If you saw that you missed it, you'd be annoyed, maybe, or maybe not. But at least I've given you the option to ignore that message. But even so, right. So Walrus Tass is here. Hello, beautiful humans. Hello, beautiful David. How is Tasmania? That's what I want to know. How is it over there? Dan Lee is just cooking, so forgive me if I don't reply, etc. Chicken tikka, biryani, and naan. Just in case you're interested, I'm always interested in what people are cooking. That sounds delicious. I would love to make biryani. Every time I look at a recipe for biryani, I always feel like I love biryani, but I feel like it's quite an ordeal, basically. So, am I just looking at the wrong recipes, or am I missing something? Tell me, is it easy to make a biryani? I can make good rice. I could definitely do that. But yeah, love a good biryani. That's awesome. Juggy's here. Hello. Hey, Emily. Hello, Juggy. How are you? How is Bracknell? I was chatting with a remote recording business course student yesterday. We were doing a one-on-one coaching, and he also lives in Bracknell. So it's now not just a place of ice rinkness, which is how I know it through Hannah. It now is also the home of Juggy, if I remember that you live near Bracknell. Yeah, in fact, I'm almost certain you do. And yeah, this student who is this awesome drummer and lovely human being, actually, really lovely human being. So Nathan said, if you had asked me yesterday, I would have had to admit to a Cornish pasty sandwich. Wait, what? A Cornish pasty sandwich? I don't understand. Nathan, explain, please. Okay. Oh, today. All right. So today is far more civilized. Roast beef, mustard, salad cream, and lettuce. That sounds delicious. I've just had my lunch. So oh man, you guys are going to think I'm gross if you know what I'm about to talk about and don't like it. So it was basically brown rice with some vegetables and an egg. But there's this thing that I love. It's a Japanese thing. It's like the Marmite of Japan, I feel like. And it's something called natto. And it's going to sound disgusting, it's fermented soya beans. It is the most delicious thing on the planet to me. I think I could live on it. I'm pretty sure I could. But anyway, I learned how to make it, and it takes 24 hours to make, so I make them in big batches, and I found a pot of it in the freezer the other day, and I freeze it in like a pot about that big, and that lasts for 5 or 6 days. And I found it, and it was like finding gold. And I was like, well, this is coming out of the freezer. So I've been eating that every lunchtime. It's so delicious. If you've never had it, try it. If you have had it and you don't like it, I get it. My husband calls them snot beans because they have this stringy snot-like substance on them. It's so delicious. I can't even. So Nathan says, Dan Lee, for lunch? That's crazy. It's true. Dad, what's going on? It's a Waitrose ready meal. Do you know what, Dan? I really wish you'd have played that out. Like, yeah, culinary expertise. Just start reading off the back of the label. Like, so yeah, it's just got some rice in it, got a bit of garlic, it's got some fried onions, and I don't know much past that. There'd be a bunch of spices. So I love spice mix. I love following recipes. When you know certain spices and herbs, and you know what it does to a flavour. The whole sort of like Indian umbrella of spices, there's so many that I don't understand what they do to the flavour yet, if that makes sense. So I don't know why I'm telling you that, but there we go. I'm loving it so bad. Juggy says, I love food, I wish I could eat all day long. Do you know what? I often think if I had a superpower, it would be to get hungry on command and also not put on excessive, like just stay one weight, stay like this weight, a healthy weight. That would be like the most awesome superpower ever. And Nathan says to Dan, jealous, my lettuce is wilting at the sound of your lunch. I'm a little bit spitty today, so I'm sorry if I you might see snot and spit and all sorts. And Dan says, yeah, Nathan, for lunch, biryani is not just for Christmas. I think biryani is for I would eat it for breakfast, I'll be honest. I love rice. I love rice in every form that it can possibly come in, I think. Oh, no, not true. Apart from rice pudding. Not too keen on that. Anyway. So, Walrus Taz. David says, Tassie is good. Weather is great. People are chill. Played a gig last weekend. Yes. You're like the most gigging musician I know, can I just say? Side note. Recorded a heap of demos. Whiskey is still good. Pandemic is nowhere to be found on my little island. I'm so glad for you. I'd love to say the same for this little island. It ain't the same. I think we went up to 3,000. In fact, I don't know is the answer to what I haven't asked a question. Okay, I don't know what the numbers are. I know that Tony, my husband, gives me like a rundown of the day if I need to know anything. And yesterday I said, so what were the numbers today? And he said there's like over 3,000 new cases. So it's going up over here. He thinks there's going to be another spike, so we'll see. Juggy says, no, Wally, I live in Gillingham. I knew it was somewhere with an ice rink. Oh, Juggy, I'm an idiot. I will get there one day. Juggy, Gillingham. Juggy, Gillingham. It even is, I know it's not the same letter, but it's, what's that called, phonetically the same? I'm not sure that's the right word. Anyway, David says, no worries. All good. Right, I will reply. I think I'm doing an email sort of about tomorrow, I think. Kevin Siegel's here. Hello, Kevin. How are you? Emily. Hi. And Matt Black is here. Hello, Matt Black. I haven't seen you for ages. How are you? How's The Midnight Library going? I love that book. It's so good. So I started reading this new book called The Midnight Library. It's by an author called Matt Haig. I've been pronouncing his name wrong for about a month. I keep calling him Matt Hazig, and it's because his Instagram handle is Matt Z Haig, and me with my slightly dyslexic brain just stuck that Z in the middle of Haig. It's a really good book. It's such a good book. It's a fiction book. When I started it, I was like, what is this? It's like the most depressing book ever to start with. And then as it goes on, it turns into this really interesting concept. So the beginning of the book is this girl basically deciding to kill herself. That's the beginning of the book. And then it goes from there. I'm like halfway through. In fact, after I do the session, I'm going to go and just sit and read it. Probably in a park or something. I say this. I'm going to meet up with my sister as well. So, it'll either be read for a bit and then chat each other's ears off, or it will be chat each other's ears off and then read for a bit. So, anyway, I don't know why I just went into some long-ass monologue. I'm enjoying it. So, yeah, I'm glad that you love that book as well, Matt. That's really, it's nice to hear that, because you know when you're sort of like, I get this a lot with books, I get 2/3 of the way through a book and it starts losing steam sometimes and I just don't finish it. I'll tell you one author that I'm terrible for that for, that I love, and that is Haruki Murakami. Love his writing, stunning writing, descriptive, like the story is always bonkers and I just adore it. But towards the end of all the books that I've read of his, and some of them I haven't finished admittedly, they get a bit too normal by the end and I'm like, oh, couldn't it have been something a bit more, I don't know, mental? Because the whole story is always so mental, and then it's like, oh, and then everything's tied up neatly in a bow, which is fine. But I guess I don't like that sometimes. And by sometimes I mean most of the time when there's a story involved. So, David is saying hello to everyone. Hello! And Nathan says, yeah, I have a habit of wrapping most things in bread. That sounds like something that Hannah would say. Honestly, that's brilliant. I love the idea of that being a habit as well. Like, for this really bad habit, I just keep wrapping things in bread, especially savoury foods. Sausage rolls with brown sauce, pasties, pies, not quite bread on bread, but bread on pastry. I'll be honest, never had it. It's not sounding amazing, but I'm absolutely open to having my mind changed about that. But I feel like that is a dangerous path to go down, if you know what I mean. Like, once you sort of opened up that gate of putting pasties in a sandwich, pasties? Pastries. Pasties. What am I saying? Pastries or pasties in a sandwich, then I feel like danger, Will Robinson. Danger! Okay, Zaz is here. Oops, a little late. It's fine. We haven't done anything. I'm just talking about food, as always. No change there. Juggy says, didn't mean to call you a Wally. It's fine. I will be the first to say that I am an absolute Wally sometimes, most of the time. Whereas Taz says, to be fair, Nathan, anything is better in a bat. I love the bat. Oh, did I? Yeah, okay. David, as in, Walrus Taz. You said you were from St Helens, right? Did I make that up? Because I spoke to the musical director of Voice Kids, who is also from St Helens. I just felt like such an idiot. I was like, so, you're from St Helens, right? And he was like, yeah. I mean, is it a big place? And he was like, yeah, it's pretty big. I was like, oh, okay. So it's just I was talking to someone he lives in Australia, but his family are from St Helens. And then he said, are they in Brisbane or something? Because apparently loads of people from St Helens move over to Brisbane. And I was like, no, actually, he's in Tasmania. He was like, oh, okay. Yeah, a lot of people from St Helens moved to Australia. And I just thought that was really weird and cool at the same time. I was like, oh. But I definitely sounded like a bit of a weirdo. But it's fine. I'm kind of getting used to it. Oh, Hooked on Classics. Hello, Hooked on Classics. You are new to me. So lovely to meet you. Tell me what your first name is and I'll try my damnedest to actually remember what it is, because yeah, it always feels a bit weird if I'm like, hi Hooked on Classics, how are you? It's the same with Walrus, but I know that he's David, and that's fine. And actually, Walrus Task kind of helps. Right, Matt Black says, I didn't cry at the book, just had some grit in my eye. Yeah, I'm feeling the vibe on that. I think the concept is amazing. If anyone wants to check out a new fiction book to read, honestly, go check out The Midnight Library. I like it. I really, really like it. Matt Black said, should try How to Stop Time. Oh, should try How to Stop Time by Matt Haig. Another good book. Yeah, so the way I found out about The Midnight Library was one of Matt's posts came up on my Instagram, and I just liked it, and so he just puts up really interesting thoughts. It's just text, and I started following him, and then sort of his book came out, and then it just looked interesting, and I didn't even know that it was fiction, to be honest. I just bought it in fact I didn't buy it on a whim. I looked on Amazon and it was like a bestseller, and I was like, I should really try that because I like his posts, I like his thoughts, let me try it. And then I started, I was like, this is the most depressing book ever, but now it's gotten to a part where it's like, oh no, this is actually really interesting, so I will check out his other books for sure. So Hooked on Classics says, love your work on Last of Our Kind. Thank you, that's incredibly kind of you to say. I love that album. I'm very, very proud that I got to be a part of it, and yeah, it's always nice to meet people that liked it as well, so lovely to meet you, Hooked on Classics. Danley says, good to be back, talking drums, haha. By talking drums, do you mean talking food? And Zelsta says, so physical books versus virtual books. I have a Kindle, love it, I use it, but I remember what it was. Okay, so you know how I get into these little weird phases? Last week, or 2 weeks ago, I decided that I was probably spending about 90% of my life looking at a screen, and I was like, that can't be good. There's just nothing good can come of that. So I thought, right, let me make a concerted effort to try and make some dedicated non-screen time. And that's why I went, right, I bought 3 physical books. I bought The Midnight Library. I bought another one that I can't remember the name of. And what was the other one? Another one that I can't remember the name of. They obviously made an impression. No, I haven't started them yet, so in my defence. So, yeah. Anyway, it's working so far. I'm really enjoying having some non-screen time, she says, staring into a camera with a big screen behind her. Behind it, even. Nathan says, pasties in bread, symbols in bread. Yeah, I mean, honestly, my brain. Walrus Tass says, my dad's family is all from Rainford, just out of St Helens. Oh, okay, cool. I'm not going to remember that. And honestly, it was already a bit of a strange conversation because it was very random. So I probably won't address it again. But that's good to know. Rainford. I'll try and remember. To be honest, I think it's taken me about 1.5 years to remember that you're in Tasmania. And St Helens. I'm quite impressed. But I will try and remember Rainford. Walrus Tass. Rainford. I can't even remember the Juggies in Gillingham. Hooked on Classic says, physical books for me, just like music. Yeah. Walrus Tass says, so my folks first moved to Brisbane, in the late 80s, yeah, but to Tassie in 1990 when they had me. There you go. So it's a thing. I didn't know, but I don't know. And Hooked on Classic's name is Simone. I commented a while back, I just changed my channel name. Oh, amazing. Now, is it Simone or Simone? Because I used to know a guy called Simone from Italy, from Udinese, and he was a very tall ginger man, and he was lovely, 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 lovely man. So, yes, where are you from? Simone? Maisel is here. Hello, Maisel, how are you? We will get to what I'm actually doing today, in a minute. I've spent 20 minutes so far just talking about food and a little bit about books and nothing about music. Maisel, hi people. Hello, Maisel. Nathan says, yes, we're now a book club too. It's getting very highbrow in here. Trust me when I say, as long as I'm here, ain't nothing highbrow about this situation. I'm sorry if that disappoints anyone. Salster says, yes, I prefer physical as well. Virtual tends to hurt my eyes. Yeah, do you know what? The Kindle is really good at not hurting my eyes, but people read off of iPads, I can't do it. I literally, it strains my eyes almost instantly. It makes me really tired. But I'm enjoying going back to physical books. I didn't think I would enjoy it as much as I am, if that makes sense. But yeah, it's really, really good. And Zos says, now I need a new book in, now I need new bookcases in the house. Yeah, we finally got a bookcase a year ago, I think. It is so jam-packed. I need to give away some books, actually. And Hooked on Gladys says the former lol. I'm in Devon. Okay, Simone, lovely to have you here. Lovely to have you here. So David says, oh, that's right. You were going to play some drums or something, weren't you? I know, yeah, something. I don't know, something like that. And Nathan says to David, haha, cue the music. And on that note, all right, so we're here again with Shannon Bailey from I Am Candy Berlin. Sorry, that's the Instagram name. Candy Berlin is the band name. And he's from Lakeland in Florida. I'm pretty certain he may pop in on here, or if he's not here already, because he shared something like an hour ago, even though it's bonkers early. Well, I suppose it's not bonkers early in Florida right now, but it's early enough. Like, if I was going live at the time he is up right now, I would look even more tired than I do already. But we're here doing another song with him, and it's called We're American. I have barely heard this. He sent it through this morning. It's funny, I woke up this morning and I didn't have the tracks, and I was like, oh no. And then at like 7, he sent them through, and I was like, wicked! So, yeah. Anyway, he claims it's a very straightforward kind of like rock tune. So we'll see if he's telling the truth. No, of course he will be. But, yeah, so, I mean, let's just get to it. So we're going to do the usual. I'm going to switch you over to here. We're going to do a chart. We're going to have a listen, do a chart. I just realised what I need to do in here. You might have to bear with me because I'm still getting my recording legs back, if you know what I'm saying. I think it should all be coming out the right bits to you guys. Yeah, that sounds like it's coming out. And it's so fun. I got my snare drums back from the Voice Kids, which means that I've got my full arsenal of drums. I've put my Nashville drum supply snare drum in there, which I love, but I haven't actually tuned it, so I must check that it's like alright before I start recording and stuff. So So yeah, I guess let's do this chart, shall we? Since we're here. Oh, that's the old song, and okay. So what's it called? It's called We're American. I keep getting in my head it's called You're American. Oh, and I almost just wrote that. Hello. No. Does that mean that the pen? Hold on. Did I do something silly and just not charge this pen? It's just. Oh no. I think it's just not connected. Oh come on. No, it's dead. Alright, cool, we can talk for another minute. I'm sorry. Can you tell it's been a little while since I've been here? Right, so Simone is saying, Simone, sorry, you'll have to bear with me, I'm useless. My memory is terrible and my name pronunciation is terrible also, even with the most simple names. So Simone says, I played the drums when I was young. My brother taught me the basics, but when I was 15 I was diagnosed with arthritis. Oh dude, I'm so sorry. Became very painful to play and I had to quit. I still love drumming. Well, as far as I'm concerned, you are still part of the drumming family because it's just about people that love drums and love music. So, and you're certainly part of this crew of merry men and women. Yeah, we're. I think it's safe to say, and I speak for myself, I'm a bit weird, but with you guys, I feel really like with family. And my family are weird. Like, some of you guys have been in contact with Hannah, my sister. She's weird. I'm weird, but I really love being able to hang out with you guys. And I don't know. I don't know what I'm actually trying to say. All I'm trying to say is I'm really sorry to hear about your arthritis, but I hope you manage to find something else in your life that you can sort of pursue as a hobby or whatever, like a passion that is not affected by your arthritis. I hope. Nathan says, sorry to hear that, Simone. Yeah, that's rough. That is rough. Maisel says, normal name for me. Maisel, you know how much I, laboured over your name. Maisel Teixeira. I feel like, no matter, I might be saying it completely wrong, but this is just how I'm saying your name now. Maisel Teixeira. Try Teixeira. Haha, yeah. I'm the worst. Nathan says, we make you feel normal. Haha. Not at all. I feel weird, but I feel happy. Does that make sense? I don't know if that... Oh, and speak of the other weird Dolan Davis. Hello, Hannah. Hello, everyone. Hannah, I'm just going to ask you this quick question. Have you already done your off ice, or is that later? Zelda says Hannah ears must have been burning. Yeah, I mean, tell me about it. Wavelength. No, brainwave. I don't know. Maysel's giving lots of hearts out all over the place. And Simone says, thank you, I have to say, music saved my sanity, Metallica to Pink Floyd. Simone, I can't tell you how much that resonates with me, and I'm pretty sure I can speak for everyone that's in the room, as it were, to say that music has certainly saved all of our sanity. It has for me, saved my life. I'm convinced that my life would look so different had I not have picked up the drums and gotten into music. So yeah, you're with good company in that situation there. Love music. Nathan said to Dan, "You can't retract your message now, Dan. I saw it. I didn't see it, so I don't know what it said." And Hannah said, "Yes, I did." Oh, okay, cool. All right, wicked. I'll be leaving straight after this session. Basically, I'll drop you a text. And Waterstar says, "Oh, Emily, I challenge you to an odd off one day." Oh, dude. Oh, it's so on. Oh, it's so on. I can't even tell you. And also, I can't wait. Fernando Riviero Neto is here. Hello, Fernando. How are you? I hope you're doing well as well. It's lovely to see you. Danley says, haha, Nate, I didn't read right. I did mean it, though. I didn't read right. I did. Oh, why are we dropping frames? Why are we dropping frames? That doesn't make sense. I'm sorry if we're dropping frames. Nathan, not Nathan. Sorry, not Nathan. Dan, repost what you were saying, if you don't mind, because I'm intrigued now. Okay, so we should have some juice in the old Apple Pencil. I was talking about that sort of screen time. It's like off the screen. Okay, so let's switch you to the iPad view. Let's check that this pencil's working, which it should. So, yay! We're American. The way I'm reading that is like we're can, not can't. You know that saying? I love that saying. Or even though I say American, which it doesn't really work, but it's fine. You get the gist. Okay, so let's have a listen to this song. I'm gonna just make the drum. In fact, I'm gonna turn everything down slightly because I think it's a little bit hot. I'm gonna switch down the drums a little bit. Yeah, okay, let's go. Let's see what this is. Okay, amazing. I feel like they're quite placement-driven drums, so I feel like we might be able to make a couple of little moments out of them. Also, I just want to do a quick edit. There, because that is going to throw me in the mix. It's the same as the bar, so I'm just going to cut and paste that for my own benefit, which is fine because I know it's all being redone, so that's absolutely fine. Cool, that's like I say, just for my sanity basically, because I tend to go with whatever's happening, especially when it comes to guitar. So cool. So I mean, the only bits that I really want to have a look at are like these sections, these kind of accented sections. Sorry, not that last one. That's just the ending. Well, it will be relevant, but yeah, I think I could definitely make something of that. I'm just not sure what I want to make of it, or maybe I don't want to make something of it. Maybe Shannon wants to make something of it. I almost feel like something like going to the Toms might be fun. I almost want that to be half time, which I'm not convinced is the right thing to do. Yeah, I'm gonna do something. I don't know what it is yet, but I'm gonna do something. Oh, so this is not interesting, but I found it interesting. So I know I was saying yesterday I was talking to one of my students doing this one-on-one coaching call, and they said to me that they were talking to me about my transport bar in my sessions, and can you see it? Yeah, you can see it. So he was saying about getting together a template for his sessions and all that sort of stuff. And then he was like, I thought, the transport, I don't need all that stuff. And then I looked at one of your sessions and I realized, like, I had a look and I realized, like, how little you have on yours. And he said it, and I was like, because I'd done it so long ago, it just didn't even occur to me what was on my transport bar. This is the bar up here, if you can see that. So up the top, where this big black box is, the controls here. And then I've just looked actively at it, and literally there's nothing here. Yeah, maybe that's not funny at all. Anyway, I found it interesting because I hadn't even thought about it so long. Okay, right, so I think I'm just going to do the usual thing of going in and just doing a few takes and seeing what happens. But I feel like the song will present itself, if that makes sense, to me at least. So I'm just going to come back to the chat real quick before I go in there. It's a good way to kind of like clear my head before I go in there anyway. And right, so where did we get to? We got to Walrus Tass. You'd be most pleased. M scored a new cowbell since you last streamed. Bright red, wow, LP percussion, Chad Smith's signature. Didn't know he had a signature cowbell. That's brilliant. It's redonkulous. That is awesome. Oh man, I want to. Can I say? Yeah, I suppose it's on IMDb. There's a new documentary coming out soon. It's about drummers, and yours truly is chatting, as you can imagine. And Chad Smith's on it as well, which is really fun. In fact, all the people on it, I was like, that's really cool. What am I doing there? It's really, yeah, but I don't know when it's out. But I saw a pre-screening of it, and it's a really fun, like, yeah, it's a really cool documentary. Just hearing about people's stories and that. Nathan says, haha, like we're Brit-ish. I can't even remember the context of this. I'm so sorry. My brain doesn't work particularly well. Danley says, I said I think Nathan's a great guy, no matter what people say. That's like when people say, what is it? Most of you did well, but those who didn't, you know who you are. So Nathan says, Danley says to Danley, nice compliment sandwich, bread, nice compliment sandwich. So you like your compliments in sandwiches too. And Hooked on Classics, Simone says, I like this. Yeah, me too. Like I said, there's something about it that reminds me of The Darkness. I can't work out what it is about it. Whether it's the guitar part or whether it's the bass line. What am I hearing? I think I'm hearing a dog bark. I hope I am. It might be something very strange otherwise. Nathan says, I'm feeling stoned. Oh yeah, brown sugar for some reason. Yeah, totally. David Frontman, David Lamid says, love it. Yeah, me too. I think it's a really cool track, and like I said, I want to kind of put in some moments, if that makes sense. I think this real sort of thought about sort of the song versus my ego, if that makes sense. Like, am I putting it in to make it a good song, or is it because I want it to have this special moment? But is that what the song needs? I don't know if that makes sense to anyone else. Anyway, we'll see though, because we'll know when it sounds good and when it doesn't. And Walrus Tass says, I've actually been getting into percussion. Yay! Finally found a tune on the acrylic kit. Oh, I really like. And our last demo, I'm just doing backing vocals and shaking a $2 shaker into an overhead. Haha! I'm all about the cheap and cheerful sounds, and yeah, who cares? It's, as long as it makes the sound that you want, then I'm all about the $2 everything. And Dave Lamid says, I'm waiting for Mark Bolan's voice on it. Yeah, I know. It's such a shame there's no vocals on it yet, but I can almost hear the vocals on it, if that makes sense, and I'm sure you feel the same way. That's why you're saying that. Nathan says, oh, that bit's like The Who won't get fooled again. Oh, yeah, it is. That's a really good point, actually. Interesting. Nathan says to Walrus, is M having a percussive influence on you? I apologise for any influence I have on anybody, actually. And Dan says, drum solo in there, I can feel it. And Dan, yeah. I'll be honest, that I was like, I wouldn't make a solo of it, but I suppose in my head it would be a solo. It's not. In any normal person's mind, it wouldn't be a solo, but in my head it would be, because it would be a little bit like making a moment about me, but I don't think that's the right thing to do. Anyway, I'm just gonna feel it out and see. Morris Tass says, I think it's my subconscious or karma getting me back for constantly suggesting cowbells and vibra slaps in her streams. See? If you concentrate on something long enough, it starts happening. Maysal says some guitars are not on the grid. Yeah, I know, I just did that little edit there, which is, it's fine. It's no big deal at all. David Lamid says, because it's not a techno metal. Yeah, it's true. It's just one of those things where it's how Shannon was feeling it, and that's totally cool. So it's cool. And Zalster, did someone say drum solo? Honestly, guys, drum solo. Yes, someone said. This is like Hannah has orchestrated this, because she keeps telling me that I need to start doing drum solos and film it, which I won't go into it, but I might try at some point soon. Not that soon. Danley says, couple of goal gaps to go a little wild, maybe. Oh, sorry, a little wild, maybe. Zalster's loving it, and Nathan says, yeah, a full-on moon moment of the Keith variety. Danley's given us this. Nathan says, what are you wearing around your neck today? Oh, this is a present from my mum that she got me at the beginning of the year. It's because, this is so stupid, but I was wearing this t-shirt by itself and it looked like I was wearing pyjamas. So I just thought, if I put a necklace around my neck, maybe it'd look better. And I think it does. But you know what's going to happen now? It's going to get caught on the recording, and then I'm just going to ruin everything. That's going to be fun. And, Maysel says, Emily, can you turn up your voice volume? Oh. I must say, I've never been asked to do that. Do you know what I think it is? I think that those tracks are so loud that the balance is a bit off. So I'm going to turn down the tracks so that I don't blow out all your ears. In case I start laughing really loud, I was talking to Hannah about the other day. It's a very bad habit. And Laura says, "Oh, I've got so many ideas of how I'd play this. Maybe that's an idea for this little community now one day. Oh yeah, get a track. We all record our own drum parts and compare. That actually sounds like a really interesting concept." Interesting. Nathan says, "I'm just air drumming cymbal stabs and throwing some shapes to those guitar stabs." I love that you guys are already with this, and you know this is a demo of the song, which is awesome because, as often is the way, it just means that already it's a great song, and you just build upon that, which is always fun. And Nathan says to us, "There was a great YouTube video where this guy hires different drummers to play the same song." Nathan, didn't you send me that? Because I watched that video and talks about their interpretation. Some pro level serious drummers and some guys on Fiverr. Oh no, I saw something different. I don't think it was guys on Fiverr. But anyway, it was amazing, really interesting, and they all did an amazing job. Matthew stays here. Hello, Matthew. Hey, Emily. Hope you're well. What's that documentary called? It's called Count Me In. You can look at it on IMDb. There's not much about it yet, but there will be at some point. I think the COVID thing basically took the release back. That's kind of how it all went down. Jed says hello Jed. Hi Emily, sorry I'm late. I'm working today. Yay! That's awesome to hear. Oh, I'm so glad. I'll catch up with the tune later. Yeah, hope everyone's okay, Jed. It's lovely to see you. Thank you for popping in to say hello. And Fernando says, "Emily, what snare are you using on this session?" So I'm going to use my Nashville drum supply snare. It's a 14 by, I want to say 6.5. Hold on, let's see if you can see it. No, you can literally just see the head of it, but it's beautiful. I probably need to tweak the tuning, but I love it so much. It's so good, and it's a new snare, which is fun because it means I can actually gig it. So I'm not worried that it's all going to fall apart or that it's going to detune. Simone says, "It's been so long since I played. I don't understand. Oh, the writing means a lot." Oh yeah, sorry. It's my way of writing charts so that I know what's going to happen in the song, so I can just play. I don't need to think about it. So don't worry. We're going to get to the playing now, so you don't need to worry about the chart or anything like that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to switch over to the live room. I think I'm going to just go do 3 takes. I will explore those sections that I'm not 100% on what I should be doing. I'm just going to let my body do it and see what happens. I guarantee you there will be some moments of but we'll see. Anyway, right, I'm going to switch over to the live room and I will be back for more chat in 3-ish takes, which is going to be about 12 minutes. So anyway, I'll see you shortly. So weird. I've got like dirt all over my hands from doing that take, and I can't work out where I got it from. Maybe it was from sorting out my symbol at the end. So that was fun. Yeah. As you can see, all right, let's take out that last bar of that last take, because that was terrible. But I quite like that halftime thing, because I weirdly, I sort of was like, whoo, like, what was that? Like, what should I be doing? Right, let me just going to delete this first take, so that hopefully those that have seen me have seen the shenanigans that can happen if I don't make all of my takes the same length. Something to do with Logic, and it doesn't like it, and I don't know why, and it's very annoying, but we're working around it. Okay, so I think I really like the last take. I may want to go in and redo the last bar, but I think the take before had a similar feel that was kind of fun. But to be honest, it's really hard for me to tell, so I just need to sit in here and listen to it. In fact, I should take a breather. Let me just catch up with the old chat for a second. In fact, let me have some water first, some Tweety Pie water. Okay, right. So, Right, Matthew says, thanks, Em, we'll check it out when it comes out. Oh yeah, the documentary. My band Colours and Fires featured on Reading's Virtual Music Festival. Congratulations, that's so awesome. I would love to send you the video of our performance. Instagram or email? Email, always email, because although I'm useless on email, I'm even more useless on Instagram. So, yeah, please do. Send it over on email. I think you've got my email address, but it's emily@emilydolandavis.com. So, yeah, please do. Zelsta says, so sorry to jump back on books. What was the first series of books that you got into? Mine was Three Investigators, series commissioned by Alfred Hitchcock for kids. Oh, that's so funny. Zelsta, okay, Michael, let me see. First group of books I ever got into. There was this series of books called something like My Parents Are Aliens. That was when I was a teenager. Maybe not teenager. No, I wasn't a teenager. I was probably about 8 or 9. Not as intellectual as what your books sound, for sure. What else did I get into? Like I said, Haruki Murakami I loved. I got into Stephen King for a little bit when I was a kid. Yeah, I'm not very good with getting into series of books. I tried The Hobbit once. I hated it. It was too dense, and I'm too dense. Matthew says, best of luck with the takes. I'll be watching on and off. No worries. And Walrus has so much more nuance than me tuning my snare. Beaded brass pearl Sensitone Elite 14x5. Mine's just tight as anything. Yeah, I bless you saying I've got nuance. I just kind of do it and wait till it sounds nice, and I think that sounded nice. I haven't even listened back to it. It might sound awful. David says, I can see the new in-ear monitors. Yeah, so I made the mistake of using my touring in-ear monitors and my Voice Kids in-ear monitors in the studio for about 2 months, and then I had to take them out to go do the Voice Kids, and I went back to using these headphones, which I love. Can I just say, I love these headphones. But actually, I'll tell you what else happened. I ended up having to use these headphones in here. So the amalgamation of these going in, so my in-ears going, these going in here, and these becoming the control room headphones, everything just sounded awful. And I was like, it wasn't that it sounded awful, it just didn't sound as good as it was sounding. So I ended up buying a replica pair of in-ears so that now everything can sound nice everywhere and be comfortable everywhere. So I'm happy bunny. And Nathan says, decided to go with your UEs over your headphones today. Yeah, they're now the mainstay. They are my studio in-ears now. That's it. I'm done. It's awesome. That's why they're white, to go with the, in my loony bin style room. I thought it was a great idea having all white walls. I thought it was going to be nice and bright and lovely, and now I just feel like I'm in an institution sometimes. And also because they're fabrics, and they're not even hard walls, so they're almost like pillows on the wall. It's funny, although I wouldn't suggest sticking your head through one of them. Yeah, Nathan and David spotted the same thing. That's so funny. And Mesa is saying, fire! David, woo! And Nathan says, haha, little solo, then head down like, I think I got away with it. I never get away with anything, honestly. Danley's shutting his mouth about Halloween. Matthew State says, absolutely love this. It's a great tune. I'm just reacting to it, to be fair. Nathan says, yes, ending. It's funny when I read this back because I don't know which take you're talking about. I'm just like, oh my gosh, I don't even know. Danley says, nice Tom work ending. Thank you. Like I said, I'm going to look at the ending because that's the only bit that I'm like, not convinced. And Walrus Task, that ending no! Boom, boom, boom! From Nathan. Walrus says, I think it's safe to say that the audience like the second take's ending. Yeah, as I came in here, that's what I also ascertained from myself. Number 2's ending, but I think number 3's bulk of the song, I think. But I could change my mind, of course. Right, Kev Cook says, greetings from Cornwall. Hello, Kevin. How are you feeling? Another day older, but another day better. Rocking tune. Are you well? Are you on the mend? I know that you did reply to my message, and it sounds like everything is good, which I'm super happy about. And I'm glad you can be here with us today, listening to me chat on and have a little play as well. Danley says, absolutely, David. And everyone's saying hi to Kev. Matthew says, yes, M. Hello, Kevin Cornwall. And Nathan says, I think M just leveled up. That's so funny. Fernando said, that was fun. All of it's fun. Kev Cook say, hey, chaps, good to be back. I'm home recuperating after a very necessary operation. I'm doing well. We're all very glad to hear that, Kevin. Honestly, it's brilliant to hear that. Nathan says, and now a cheeky little writ at the end of take 3, and that was not intentional, and that's why we're going to do a little bit of a cut. And Deli says, best wishes, Kev. Speedy recovery from Nathan. And Nathan says, haha, that take was pretty dirty. And Walrus Test says, good to hear you well, Kev. Yeah, we're all very happy about that. Hooked on Classes, Simone says, that's it. It's very similar to the Darkness at Every interview. Oh, is that what it is? Oh, the bass. Yes, the bass line is very similar. Yes. Been racking my brain for that. Correct. You are correct. Congratulations. Well done. You're better than I am. You clearly know the back catalogue much better than I do. Dan Lee says last take plus take 2 ending. Dude, wavelength. I think so. And Simone says was great. Amazing. Okay, well, I'm going to go with take 3 with everything that you said in mind, and we'll sort out the ending because take 3 was not inspired in its ending, but take 2 was. All right, so, right, I think I've saved it already, but let's do a new alternative called Comp. Simone, I might just over-explain stuff because I'm very aware that all these guys are in here day in day out and they sort of know what I'm doing. So what I'm doing is saving a different version so that everything goes wrong, which sometimes it does, I can always come back to this sort of like raw version of the 3 takes. This take I'm going to call Comp because I'm going to do this thing where it's called comping a take together. So you take parts from different takes and to create one take that sounds hopefully brilliant. That's the idea at least. Okay, so and also if you don't understand anything that not anything I'm saying, there's probably lots that I'm saying that you're like, what are you on about? But always ask if you want me to explain anything because I love to. I'm not very good at remembering to sometimes. All right, so let's go with whoa. Let's take that click out because that isn't fun. All right. I've still got this thing because I haven't actually changed it yet. So all the drums are a lot quieter than wrong one. A lot quieter than the actual. Wait, all the drums are quieter than the track. Yes, that's what I'm trying to I'm just going to check take 2. Actually, I prefer take 2 for the beginning, so we'll just go for that. I'm just going to sort out the mix. bass land. Like Graceland, but the bass line. Oh, I think I just clicked my sticks there. Hold on. You should remember when I do stuff like that. Just take it from another one. Oh, goodness gracious. Overthinking Central. Okay. Yeah. I wonder what happened. I'm just gonna see. Oh! No. I want to record more. Goodness. Just wanted to see what happened from take 2 from there. Too much. And plus, compared to the rest of the song, it doesn't make sense. There's no context. Yeah, love it. I think there's a couple of little bits that need to be tightened up, but we can do that. That's no problem at all. Right, so let's save that. Why you're on record? That makes no sense. Okay, so let's save another new alternative. I'm going to call this one Flatten and Fix. This is where I basically, I don't know why I'm even saying that. F and F. Sorry, Flatten and Fade. Oh, yes. This is where I'm just going to flatten all these takes so that they become one whole take, and then we're going to create some fades between those takes so that they can sound like one take. So I'm going to do a general fade across everything, and then we'll check them individually. I think there's only 2 cuts in the whole of this anyway, which makes it a lot easier. And I'm just going to solo the drums. That sounds good to me. It's an easy one, and it usually doesn't that sort of thing. Oh, there's 3. Oh, 4. Oh yeah, because I did that. Cool, that's good, and then I made that kind of fine too. And then a fade at the end, just for there's no clicks or pops. Nice. Great. Okay, so I'm going to go through and I don't know whether to, because I know that he's going to be re-recording this, and I don't know whether to snap it to the grid. I could actually do two versions, actually, thinking about it. So I'll do one version. Should I do first? So, first one, first one, yeah, snap to guide, and then I'm going to do another one afterwards, which is going to be snap to the grid. So it's perfectly in time. That way I think it might be nice Shannon can kind of choose which one. So I'm just going to analyse this stuff so we can get moving some stuff. So this is using something called flex time, which means that it basically makes this cut essentially at every transient, and it means that we can move the hits minutely to make it lock in with stuff. Okay, let's go to the chat for a little bit, and then okay, whilst it's doing this. So where are we up to? Oh, Walrus Test says, I'm so curious about this take 3 ending. My phone balked itself, so I didn't get it. But by the time I got to the stream, but we were out of the live room again. Haha. You heard it here first. What interesting, right? Walrus Tasso sounds jolly exciting, whatever it was. Yeah, that's one word for it. And Simone says, okay, this is way over my head. Lol. When I was young, it was all one take. Yeah, so this is like the modern world of drum recording, and it's kind of about getting still the human feel, but the best version possible, the best take possible between however many takes you want. I try and restrict myself to 3 because I don't believe in perfection. I don't believe it exists. I believe in, is it good enough? And I hold a very high standard for myself. But as long as I can come away going, yes, I'm happy with that. It's not perfect. It's never perfect. Nothing I have ever done in my life has been perfect. As long as I'm going, yeah, that's good, then yeah, I'm happy. But I want to make it as good as possible. Simone says, I never understand why computers are used. It's just for ease, basically. It's ease of using things like plugins, compressors, rather than having to have all of the analog gear, and once you're recorded through it, it means that you can't go back a step. So there's a lot less manipulation to do, which is fine, and it's great if you really truly know how to use all that sort of stuff, but I don't, and I'd rather send the raw files, and then a producer can, or whoever's making the song, in this case Shannon, so his producer, will take my raw sound, and then he will process, or she will process it to the sound that they think is best to get the most out of the drum. So it just makes it a lot easier. Also, it's a lot cheaper to send a drum track than a reel-to-reel. Also, reel-to-reel is very expensive, like the tape, very, very expensive. So it just makes it a lot easier to create a sound and to get more music out there, really. I hope that makes sense. I'm not sure it does. And have I missed something? Oh, Walrus says, recording live onto tape is a very rewarding thing to do, yeah. But in the age of home studios and DIY multi-tracking, computers just make it so much more affordable and accessible. Yes, and I am all about everyone, like as many people that can. I want them to have a voice and like use music or whatever as a medium to express their experience in life, just tell their story. I'm very much about that. So I love it. Anything that brings more people into this world and other worlds is a good thing in my books. So Simone said, if I hadn't been diagnosed and carried on playing, I wouldn't like to do this with software. That's fair enough. That, I think it's just one of those things. It's each to their own. You find the thing that you like and a way that you like to work and go with it. Like, absolutely, there's no harm in that at all. And Fernando says, I dig the bass part. Me too. I really like that bass part. Nathan says, yeah, not having to physically cut the tape. Yeah, it's just, I've recorded to tape too. It's a bonkers, like it's an operation. I mean, there back in the day in old school studios, there were tape ops whose sole purpose was to look after the tape and do those sorts of cuts. But it's hard enough having enough knowledge to run just one program with a bunch of plugins and stuff, let alone like more physical things, you know. So yeah, Nathan says not trying to physically cut the tape with a blade, stitch parts together, or the degradation of the recording from multi-track bouncing down. Yeah, totally. There's so many other elements that just can go wrong, and also you can't save it in the same sort of way. Maysel says the waveform of your kick is so thin. Oh, Adobe wants to just randomly update. Well, thanks, Adobe. Me and my dad were talking about Adobe the other day. We're not friends with Adobe anymore because they're being rubbish. Do you think? I don't think it's that thin. Maybe it's just because I was zoomed out. That's quite possible. Nathan says the digital copy. My eyesight. Should I put my glasses? That might actually be a good shout. Okay. The digital options give you so many options without the need for all the extra outboard gear. Now we're actually realising I just can't read. Oristas is laughing. Smooth with a capital smooth. Shmoo. Yeah, not great, but there you go. Maysel says amazing, and Simone says if you edit the song then perform live, how many times do you listen to it to make sure that you don't go wrong? If you edit the song then perform live, how many times do you listen to it to make sure you don't go wrong? Do you mean learning songs? I just practice them until I can't physically get it wrong, or something really untoward happens. I need to just know it in my blood, if that makes sense. I think that's what you're asking. Tell me if I've got that wrong. I'm sorry if I have. David says, wow, Roger Taylor style in the ending on take 2. Yeehaw! That's a compliment and a half. Thank you very much. I'll take it. And I'll say smooth cowbell. Do you know what, Michael, what's hilarious is as I was listening to that, it popped into my head. I was like, I can't do it. I can't say it and I can't do it because we did it on the last one, didn't we? Although maybe we should. I don't know. I'm thinking about it. I don't know. Let me listen to again when we're like moving stuff, and then we can work it out. And Simone says, sorry for so many comments so close together. It's fine. It's lovely to have you here chatting. What are you talking about? Keep asking questions. Keep chatting. We love it. Morista says, Zalsta, no. Bahaha. Yeah, I thought for a split second cowbell, and then I was like, I'm not convinced that's the right thing to do. Right, so let's get back to this and creating a comp, not a comp, I don't know what I'm talking about. Let's move some stuff around. So, Simone, learning, lol. We're all learning. There's no worries about that. And you're, like I say, you're amongst people who are, we're all learning something at some point. I'm constantly learning every day, so it's all good. Nathan says to Simone, no problem at all. We're a chatty bunch and love new stuff to talk about. It's so true. Do you know what? I think this is the most we've spoken about the actual session in months, and that is down to you, Simone, and that's a wonderful thing, so thank you so much. That is a lovely, lovely thing. Right, so let's do some editing. Okay. That was a bit early. Yeah, you can see there on the grid. Okay, so let's just do that again. Oh, that was not the right thing. In fact, it's actually this one that is a bit early, and probably that one as well. Okay, so yeah, maybe even move this one. this is a bit where I am not convinced if it's me or if it's the guide. Right, so. And that's dead on the money, so maybe it is. Oh, I know what I was going to do. I was going to chop and change the backing just to see if... so... So what I'm going to do is, so I'm going to chop this and change it for this, and then that way we can just see if it's a me thing. It might be. Is a bit early. Yeah, cool. Tune. That's fun. I like that, and I'm not going to snap it to the grid at all because that works for me. That's like, yeah, feel and just a couple of bits moved, which is totally fine. I'm fine with that. Fun! Yay! Oh, I'm happy. Okay, let's see what's happening in the chat here. So Simone says, well, this is out of my comfort zone. I'm used to working on my bikes. That's cool. What kind of bikes? Are we talking push bikes? Because my sister, very into push bikes. Or are we talking motorbikes? Because my husband, very into motorbikes. He used to race production bikes back in the day, and then he had a really bad crash about 12 years ago. Basically broke his back. I mean, he probably should be paralysed, but he's not. He was very fit, I guess, when he fell. So, yeah, anyway. Deadly, I remember tape all over our house when I was younger. Computer files are much easier to store too, I guess. Yeah, if I remember rightly as well, those tapes, incredibly flammable. Like, incredibly. And, yeah, in fact, because we used to have a lot of tape around out, like the canisters, but for film, not for recording music. So, yeah, so your dad or your parents they record as well, or they were signed to a studios? Tell us, if you don't mind. Or as Taz, oh, what sort of bikes? Yeah, I love that everyone's like, oh, bikes? This is different. And Simone says, I lose PC files anyway. Yeah, a good backup system has saved my life many a time. That's so funny. That's brilliant. Dan Lee says, me too. Oh, so Simone says Kawasaki ZR 600 Yamaha RS 125 DX. Amazing. So my dad used to drive a Kawasaki. I don't know what one it was though, and actually he's got a Ducati now. He's got a Ducati that he loves. I don't know what kind of Ducati it is, so please don't ask. But Tony really likes it. He's very impressed with it. I love bikes, but I just don't know anything about them. I used to ride on the back of my dad's bike as a kid. It was really fun. Nathan says, I knew the mention of bikes would spark Walrus Tass interest. Brilliant. Yep. And Simone, sorry, I just jumped down. Simone said, and I just purchased a classic car. What car did you purchase? This is very cool. This is like, yeah, this is different for me talking about this sort of stuff. I know nothing. And so Zel says 68 Camaro SS. No, haha, I don't know what that is. Okay, Maura says nice little pair. My first bike was a GPX 250. Nice little Kawasaki. Currently rocking my Ducati 996 and ridiculously modified Yamaha 125 scooter. I love it. I love that I'm reading that and I'm realising how every non-drummer must view when I'm talking about drums. But it makes me happy. I'm trying to remember what Tony's first bike was. That was a Yamaha. I had an alert on it on eBay because I was trying to get him one for his birthday. I don't know why I'm whispering. Zal says, darn it. Warsta says, one of the few things I like as much as music, getting around on and working on two wheels. That is awesome. And Simone says, I need to get on with the Kawasaki build. David says, Charlotte says, hi to everyone. Sends lots of love. Oh, lovely Charlotte Bibby. So Charlotte is someone that is usually here on these live streams as well, but she is obviously otherwise engaged. And yeah, she's awesome lady. Nathan says, is your dad more of an Autodesk kind of guy? I don't even know what that means. What do you mean Autodesk? What is that? Is that program? Or am I being an idiot? Can you tell me what you mean and I'll answer. And Simone says, sounds fab. Oh, thank you, Simone. Brilliant. Mace also, thank you for tagging me on Instagram. I was going to miss the live. Yeah, I just thought, you know what? Let me do that because I feel bad when people miss out and then they're like, I didn't know. So I'm going to try and do that when I can, when I have the time to and when I remember to. I'll just tag people. And if you don't want me to, that's totally fine. Just let me know and I'll not. But it's always nice seeing you guys and getting to chat. It's really fun. Nathan says, oh yeah, Dan Lee, we were going to talk about it last time, weren't we? Equals, we left it on the cliffhanger. What were we going to talk about? I can't remember, and it's too far up. Okay, Fernando, can't wait to hear the final result of this track. It's a very banging one. Yeah, I can't wait for vocals to come on this. In fact, that's the same with most of Chandler's stuff. He sends me it without vocals because of just the stage that I'm recording. So yeah, I can't wait. Oh, I've just realised what Nathan was talking about. So about his dad. So Dan Lee, my dad, Dave Lee, owned Tower Music. No way! In Blackpool for 30 odd years. He was also a lead singer guitarist in a band called Carousel. I know that band. They won Opportunity Knocks and got to a contract to play the Cunard. I don't know what that is. Yeah, no, I know the band Carousel though. That's super cool. Brilliant. Tower Music. Legendary. Absolutely legendary. Ships recording a few vinyl singles too. Alright, okay, yeah. So we had many reels of tape everywhere. I mean, that sounds brilliant, like brilliant chaos. And so Simone says she just bought, sorry, I just said she, and that was a massive assumption, and I apologise. Simone has just bought a Ford Cortina Mark III Estate. That sounds like a nice car. It sounds like you can fit drums in it. So that makes me happy. That's all. I'm terrible. So Simone, here's the real deal with me and cars. This is awful. When I look at buying a car, I look at the miles to the gallon, or these days now I'm looking at the charge to the, no, miles to the charge. Not that I have an electric car yet, but I'm looking into it. And can you fit a drum kit in it? That's literally my criteria. Nothing else. Maybe how much do like services and parts cost. I'm the worst. I'm so lame. David says, I love BMW modified cafe racers. There's actually a place, venue, it's sort of a venue, bar, meet-up place near here called, oh no there isn't, no, I'm talking out on my backside, no, there's a band that in London who are called the Cafe Racers. That's what sparked in my head just then. Zaz says to me, right, 68 Camaro, oh no, RSSS was the car from the 80s movie Better Off Dead. I haven't seen that film either. I know, I just felt like an idiot. And Dan says, yes, Nate. And so Nathan says, yeah, he does 3D animation, etc., doesn't he? Autodesk, Maya 3D modelling software. Right, I know Maya because I sort of dabbled in Maya for a little while. I've never even heard of Autodesk. 3ds Max, etc. I studied 3D computer graphics at uni. Amazing. So what they use is it's a bespoke piece of software called Selection, and so they don't use, well, they're not doing 3D, so it makes sense. But no, he doesn't use I mean, to be fair, because he's not an animator, he's a producer essentially, so he doesn't use any of that sort of stuff. But Maya, I seem to remember enjoying Maya, but Autodesk, yeah, it must be the new version. This because I'm so old. That's the last time I used that sort of stuff, and that was when would that have been? A long time ago. Way before Autodesk, by the sounds of it. Maysell drums. Can you sing? Not really. I mean, technically, I'm on backing vocals on the whole of the Darknesses record. So I have, and I'm always singing along to stuff. I would definitely say that I can't sing, though. I love it. Not very good at it. And Simone says, Dan, I love 7-inch singles. Awesome. Dan Lee, yeah, they were great. So good. And Simone says, I wish they would come... Oh, I wish they would make a comeback like the LP has. Yeah, I mean, you never know. I feel like they're just not as accessible as LPs. And plus, that whole trendy thing happened where everyone was getting record players and stuff, and it was like a trendy thing. And now it's become a bit more mainstream. Like, again, if that makes sense, like it's come back on itself. So, I mean, that would be next level. Because I know cassettes were coming back for a little while, weren't they? That was weird. That was a weird moment. And Dan Lee says, vinyl is massive now. Yeah, Walrus Task collects it too. Amazing. Oh wait, I think I knew that. Simone says, I have a massive record collection, mostly by one artist. What a cliffhanger! Who's the artist? Who is the artist that you are hooked on? Nathan says, so Autodesk is to Maya what Adobe is to After Effects. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I've never heard of that. Not company. That's weird. Not that I'm particularly up on stuff like that. It's like the production house company developer. Cool, wicked. And hooked on classic, Simone says, Michael Jackson, that is it. Amazing. I have a couple of friends who you could have many a conversation with. They are obsessed with I mean, how could you not be? But they are really obsessed. And David Lemid says, Dan Lee, I'm going to check your dad's band carousel on YouTube. May I? Oh, you're so sweet. You're such a sweetheart. Right, so I think I'm happy with this. I'm going to bounce down a version, send it over to Channon, and see if he's happy. I'm going to be back tomorrow doing another session. I think that I will be in at, I tried to work this out, I think I'm going to come in at 10 a.m. So I'm sorry for the late risers in the room. Yeah, for various reasons, but I will put it up on my Instagram if you want, and I will tag everyone again tomorrow morning, Walrus Task, I know you're in Tasmania, so wherever you are, 10 a.m. tomorrow our time, which is ready for my random, so whatever the time was, 4 hours and 37 minutes ago for you, that's the time I'm going to be online tomorrow recording the next song, which I don't know what it is because he hasn't sent it to me yet, but again, it's Channon again, so it's going to be fun. And Dan says, haha, I don't think they'll be on YouTube, they were 60s, 70s, etc. I'm going to mention that band to my dad because I think that's how I know them. I feel like my dad's mentioned them from when he was young playing, because he used to play guitar as well. He used to play in a band called Smiley and a bunch of covers bands and stuff. I can't remember. I should remember these things, but I can't. There's too much information. You know, he's had such a past. And Walrus Task says, yeah, Idols have put out a couple of 7-inches. Oh, a heap of my favourite lesser known bands are putting out cassettes at the moment. Yeah, I saw that. And my local record stores get 7-inches in occasionally. Nathan says, thanks Em, good to see you again. It's been lovely sitting and chatting with you guys, and obviously recording as well, but just sitting and chatting is always lovely. Dan Lee says his dad's band Carousel toured in the 80s and the 90s. Yeah, I definitely know your dad's band. I just can't work out why. And Simone says, great chatting with guys. Thanks, Emily. My pleasure. It's lovely to have you here, Simone, and I hope that we get to see you again. Take care, everyone. Says Dan Lee. Great chatting, Simone. Bye, Walrus. Great stream, great chats, awesome display as always. Cheers, drive. And Dan Lee says your dad may know my dad. It's possible. So where was he living at the time? Enfield kind of way. I don't know where your dad was in the 70s, 60s, 70s. Yeah, 67. So North London, Enfield kind of area, Broxbourne area. Thank you and have a great day. We've got a Ladybird from Lamids and still have my dual cassette player in the closet along with a graphic equalizer. You're a dude, man. That's awesome. And Mace also, thank you, Emily. Thank you all. And Nathan, haha, Ladybird, David. I love that Ladybird. It makes me happy because whenever I see a Ladybird now, I think of David Lamids, which is a lovely thing. And Simone says, I will be back, no fear. I'm glad to hear that. Thank you guys all for being here. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. I will tag you lot, so look out for that. But yeah, 10 a.m. this time. So 4 hours and 40 minutes ago from whatever time it is right now. All right, I love you all, and I'll see you later. Have a lovely rest of your day. All right, see you later.